Hello and welcome to Two Crones and a Microphone. I am Linda.
And I am Betty. And this is my friend, Gudrun.
Hi.
Hi, Gudrun. So lovely to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
So you may notice that we're in a different space here. As a matter of fact, all my equipment is down here for the recording, which has been a lot of fun. We're in Gudrun's space downtown in Honesdale. She owns the Mount Pleasant Herbary in Honesdale, PA. I've known Gudrun for about 20 years. I think I taught you a Reiki class. That's when we first met, correct?
You taught me too. Yes.
Yeah, Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. And I have watched her over the years create beautiful teas, salves, soaps, lotions. And I've watched her grow her business from traveling to various farmers markets in the area and holiday fairs to now a brick and mortar store in downtown Honesdale. So we have a lot of questions, Linda and I. And I guess our first question would be, Gudrun, what age did you start getting interested in herbs?
Well, I have a very early childhood memory from when I was 3 years old. I was playing with my neighbor friend in her grandmother's garden. And we had little polka dot balls and picked calendula flowers. And I remember how they smelled so good, and we pretended cooking with them. So now when I'm in my garden and I pick calendula flowers, this childhood memory always pops up in my mind.
And where was this?
This was in Germany. I grew up in the Southwest, in the Black Forest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Lovely.
And then how did you find yourself here in Honesdale?
So the short version is I participated in a work exchange program between Germany and the United States. It was a program for social workers. In Germany, I worked as a social worker. And I was hoping they would send me to the West Coast, but they sent me to Scranton, Pennsylvania. And that's where I met my husband. And so the program was for 4 months. After the 4 months were over, I went back. And then we had a 4-year-long distant relationship. And after 4 years, that was 2002, I decided to move here. So I moved directly to Wayne County, not to New York City first.
Yeah. Fantastic. You really had your feet on the ground in Pennsylvania then. You had a fair idea.
Yeah, I did. Although I had been here before, it still was a culture shock.
Sure. I bet.
It is.
Wow.
So my understanding is that your husband had a farm or lived on a farm. Yes?
No. We just both had the vision for ourselves that we wanted to live in an old farmhouse. 2 years we rented an apartment in Honesdale, and then we found our little farmhouse towards Pleasant Mount in Wayne County. And it's only 2 acres, but the house was 1869 by a Bavarian, so a guy from Germany. So
lovely.
It fit, So that's why I grow my herbs. That's why and a lot of the herbs I use in my products I do myself.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
I am sure. Do you forage for herbs as well?
I just sometimes, yes, like St. John's wort.
Yeah.
Forage. I just went to the woods to pick ramps for ram quiche for my store.
Yum. Oh, I wish I could drive right there. Sounds delicious. Well, I'm curious, did you have formal training?
I mean, I'd gotten some formal training while I was in the process of doing my business. So first a few years ago, I did a training with Juliet Blankenspore from Chestnut School of Herbal Medicine. It was a 1,000-hour training.
Yes.
I did over the course of 2 years.
Yes.
And that helped me tremendously. I never know when you can call yourself an herbalist, there's so much to learn. So,
Always. Yeah.
Seems like it's endless, but I feel like I got a pretty good foundation with this training.
Yeah, I'm acquainted with that because my main teacher, Lupo Passero of Twin Star Herbs, worked with Juliet to found that school.
Oh,
So that was a while back. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that program. It was very
Excellent.
fun and informative, and Juliet also has a really good sense of humor. So
So helpful. I know. And really, I think an herbalist training is never done because we learn from the plants too. And we learn processes and other things with other wisdom keepers. It's always fun.
yes, I agree.
Yeah. And how long was the program? You said 2 years. Was it online or in person?
It's a $1,000 program. So you have to, if you want a certificate, you have
Yes.
to do it in a certain time frame.
Yes.
So I did that, and I think the time frame it was back then. I don't know what it's now, but it was 2 years. So
Yeah.
or that I could finish it up in that time.
Yeah.
For wife and mother, how did you fit all this in? Plus, you were selling some of your herbs.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so I winter time to do all the theory parts of the program in the winter when I don't have to tend to my garden.
Mm.
And then did the practical stuff, obviously, when the garden was in full swing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Good.
And then the pressure helps,
Yeah.
The time is almost up. So or you speed it up a little more.
I know. Deadlines sometimes are useful.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They are. So if you had to pick a favorite herb, what would it be?
It still is, after all these years, calendula.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
I love it because, first of all, it's so easy to grow. It reseeds itself. It's beautiful. It smells heavenly.
mm.
It has medicinal properties, so many that are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the world needs more calendula flowers.
I agree. Yeah. I love it. Well, I wonder what's your favorite recipe? Because, I know from talking to Betty that you do a lot of your own blending and your own recipes here.
Yeah.
And so just maybe not your favorite, maybe your 2 or 3 favorites, because
one of my favorites is the calendula salve.
hold that up. Get it a little closer. Oh, lovely. You're holding up a nice, generous tin of calendula salve.
Yeah, calendula has healing properties for your skin. It helps with cuts and scrapes and sunburns.
Yes.
Can even be helpful for scars.
Yes.
So it's so versatile, and it's so practical to have when you have kids, or for everybody. So that's one of it. And then my tea blends, I have 3 tea blends that I started my business out with, and up to this day, they are still my favorite. Like this is mint medley.
And was that mint medley?
Yeah.
MINT.
So hold it there. Perfect. We can see it now. Mint medley, handmade herbal tea blend.
Mint, spearmint, and Moroccan mint.
Ooh.
Iced with strawberries. Summer breeze, which does have calendula in it, because calendula is also helpful for your digestive health.
Exactly.
The base tea is nettle, and nettles are loaded with minerals, calcium, so it's kind of an energizing blend.
Yes,
and to
nice.
make it more tasty, I also added lemon balm and lemon verbena and sage and strawberry leaves and a little mint. And then flower power. The base of that is anise aesop, and it has all kinds of flowers. Calendula again, but also yarrow and pink clover and lemon balm and lemon verbena. And that's a great digestive aid.
And you make a sleep one too. That's amazing.
Yes, a good night tea. And also stress relief.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
seems to be a customer favorite. Stress relief has Tulsi as a base. Tulsi is holy basil.
Yes, yes,
Herb from Ayurvedic medicine. Has been around
yes.
2,000 years. And what I like is it calms your nervous system without making you sleepy. So it's a
Mhm.
very easy drink during the day when you feel agitated or anxious or nervous, just plain stressed out by life.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so it's a great tea. It calms you down, but doesn't make you feel like you want to go to bed.
Yeah, it's well, as our listeners know, I drank gallons of that when my husband was sick, so I was constantly drinking that.
Well, I have another question, which is, would you mind giving us your website address?
Sure.
I want to make sure that our listeners, if they got intrigued like I did by those 3 teas you just showed and the 2 others you spoke about, I'd like to let them know where they can find this.
It's a little tricky to spelling. If you have show notes, it would be great if you could put it in show notes, but it's Mount Pleasant Herbary. It's all one word. So Mount is mountain, Pleasant is lovely, and Herbary, Herbary, is from the Latin word herbarium, which
Mhm.
it means a place where herbs are grown.
Yes.
MountPleasantHerbery.com.
Excellent. Thank you. And you do ship as well to people, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Good. Good. All right.
So I just want to hold these up for a second because I found these. This is for our 4-leggeds. Can you see it?
It's called paw balm. Dog
Yeah.
paw balm with dandelions and shea butter. Aw.
Yeah, shea butter, olive oil infused with dandelions, and
Yes.
this one, it just
Yes.
in the wintertime when there's a lot of salt on the streets,
Yeah.
protect the paws, or in the summer when the sidewalks are really hot, from the sun, and so it gives some a barrier protection from that.
Lovely.
And it's safe if the dogs lick their paws, so they're not poisoned by anything. It's not scented, or it's all good ingredients.
Yeah.
And then I found this little packet has dog shampoo in it. It's a bar of dog shampoo, and here you go. So
Dirty dog, it says. Aw. That's really cute.
Didn't you?
I don't have a dog. We have a cat.
No, so then we also have catnip toys. All the
Oh.
So her friend, who's a local person, makes the bag, which is looks like a little mouse. So it really has something for everyone here, really. The other thing I would like to mention, because I use it a lot, is her arnica salve.
Oh, fantastic.
I didn't mention, but this is great stuff. So if you have, as my knee kicks up, I start having some knee pain.
Yeah.
This does take it away. It's wonderful. And Gudrun, how did you come up with these formulas?
I mean, I started out simple with the tea blends. So when I moved here, I missed the variety of herbal tea blends I could choose from in Germany. You go to a store like CVS and there was a whole shelf with loose tea. And then when I moved here, there was no loose tea really. It was all free. So that's when I started growing my own herbs and packaging my own tea. And I just experimented. I looked at what do I have most of. So that at that time was nettle. I had a lot of nettle. And then I thought, all right, what else do I have? And just blended it together. And I mean, if anybody wants to blend their own teas, you can't go wrong, really. I think, you just blend together what you have, and the end product will be somewhat tasty, no matter what you do, because the herbs in themselves are tasty. Unless you choose a lot of bitter herbs, then of course you get a bitter blend, but herbs are pretty forgiving that way. So, and then when I had my teas and I thought I'm going to start selling them, I thought, who around here will appreciate herbal tea? I need another product. So that's when I started experimenting with putting the herbs into soaps. And
Ah,
so this market, I had soap and the 3 tea blends I showed you before, and dream pillows. Those were my 3 products.
I remember.
oh my gosh. Well, that's a great platform to start with there. I can see.
And then over the years, it just, I get all these ideas in my head, and
Yeah.
one thing came to another. It didn't grow overnight, just, slowly.
So I know when you started, I remember asking you where you're doing your blending. You were doing it in your kitchen.
Yes,
In the beginning.
Yes, the Department of Agriculture had it certified that I could blend my teas in my kitchen. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That you had to get that.
Yeah. For that,
Yeah.
But for the tea blends, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for retail, for resale. Yeah. Huh. How many years have you been in business? I mean, capturing everything from when you started selling in, farmers markets and such until now.
I started in 2009 with the farmers markets. And in 2015, I opened the store. It was a smaller store, a block of work. And then just recently, like at the end of August last year, I moved into the bigger location after having the store 8 years.
Wow. Well, what's the difference? Tell us a little bit about your current store. It must be very exciting to have space for more options, right?
Yeah, I mean, now it's a Main Street front store. Before I was tucked back into an alley. So so it's best kept secret. But now, it's definitely more foot traffic now. I have space for more seating. So it's a true café now.
Oh, lovely.
Wanted to do, but never had the space.
Yeah.
I also have outdoor seating area. So I was able to expand my lunch menu, and I'm trying to incorporate herbs and healthy things into the lunch and serve my iced teas or hot teas. And people can sit down and have a relaxing cup of herbal tea. And make sure when people sit inside, they get a real teacup, not a to-go cup.
Aww.
I feel like the tea tastes so much better in a real cup, and it also reminds people to sit down and relax instead of being on the go.
Exactly. They're experiencing the entire healing process in that moment.
I mean, when you walk into the store, it smells really good because I use the essential oils in my product, no artificial fragrances. So you can smell it when you walk into the store, and that creates a relaxing atmosphere. So, I think people like it. They like to sit here and hang out and enjoy it.
There's always someone in here when I come in. Sometimes people have their book club here, or just to get together to chat. I mean, it's just really lovely. It really is. It's you've done a really good job setting it up.
Thank you.
And in the summer when we have after Memorial Day, it's packed because we have a lot of our summer people coming up from New York and New Jersey, wherever around. And there's always someone in here. So it's kind of nice. I just love it here. It's just a really nice, peaceful, relaxing atmosphere. And now you have the backyard too, which is really nice.
Excellent. And I'm curious, this is veering a little bit off of what we talked about, but you said you expanded your lunch options too. So really you're opening this up to be a little bit of a community space where people know they can come, they can get a relaxing cup of tea, possibly a goodie, they can re-establish their herbal supplies at home, learn a little more about the herbs, and then you feed them. Really, I think that's marvelous.
I think it's nice. It's really, it was always my vision, and it came true, which is a big gift for me.
That's excellent.
We worked really hard to get this together. So I know we have listeners who do herbal products, create herbal things, and they may be thinking of getting into their own little business. What advice would you give to them?
Well, I think if you can, I would try to start out slow. Like my business grew with my daughter. I started my business when she was 4 years old, and was a stay-home mom. Was my choice. I wanted to do that. And then as my daughter grew and got more independent, I could grow my business more. So, and I'm, I never like borrowed money to get it going or anything. It just grew slowly with the farmers markets, and then with a small storefront, with affordable rent. And then when I felt like, I can handle that well, then I expanded and moved into the bigger space. So when I was ready to handle the bigger expenses. So in that way, it's not so stressful if you can do it that way. If you have, if you need a second income, like if you need to, don't expect it to be your main income right away. That's my advice, because then you get stressed out and it's not enjoyable. Maybe you need to keep your part-time or your full-time job for a while and do this part-time on the side on the weekends until you have an idea where it's going and if it's working. Yeah. So I guess that's the advice I have.
And, if you're stressed out, that's going to be transmitted to the herbs. So exactly. You don't want that. You don't want to sell something to someone that's got that energy in it. I know Gudrun told me that she Reikis her herbs because when she took the class, I can't even remember when it was, quite a while ago, it had to be 20 years. She realized she could Reiki her herbs to help, with the energy. And sure. I think that's had a lot to do with her success. I remember when she started the farmers market, oh my God, you couldn't even get near her table. There were so many people trying to buy things from her. And I know I wasn't the only one. I finally said to her, Gudrun, have you thought about getting into a brick and mortar? Because I think you'll be successful. I know there are other people that gave you that advice, but I also realize it's a big step. Yeah. So, and I personally am so happy you moved here. This is delightful. Absolutely delightful. I'm going to take some pictures. Good. And you are web person who does all this wonderful stuff for us, right, Libby? And have her post some of them. And we'll post some on Facebook along with Gudrun's web address so that you can order from her. And I highly recommend that you do that. You'll be so happy, really.
Thank you, Betty.
No, really. I'm a big fan of yours. You know that. So I give it as gifts. I mean, it's just really, really a wonderful product. And Gudrun has so many great insights into the herbs and what they do. So do you ever answer questions on your Facebook page?
All the time.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so, there we go.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm also going to teach workshops again.
Good. Oh, good. That was going to be my next question. Do you have classes on herbalism and or in person, Zoom? How do you handle it?
Yeah, so there's a workshop series coming up. My friend Alison Peck, who's a master gardener, is teaching a workshop about terrariums. So my workshops are all hands-on. So people come, they make products. There will be one for soap making, one about vinegars and oils and honey, so infusions. What else? I have a list here. Green cleaning. So making your own products. Yeah. And natural body care. So people get to make lip balm and lotion and other body care products. So people go home with making 4 different products every time they attend a workshop. So, and I think it's so important these days where everybody is online all the time to just use your hands and make something. Can be so rewarding and relaxing. So that's why you have to come here for the workshops. It's not going to be on Zoom or anything. Come and be in person to get the experience.
We have many bed and breakfasts around. There are plenty of places to stay if you want to stay overnight. That's why I tell people who are coming to our classes from Minerva, we do have people come who stay overnight at a local bed and breakfast, or there are a couple of motels around also. Or you just grab a friend of yours who lives up here and say, can I crash on your couch, that kind of thing. So that's how our people come. And I know, Gudrun, they'll come for you. I definitely want to come for some of these workshops. I don't know how I do with the soap making, but definitely the terrariums and blending. I mean, I have been trying to switch over to a lot of green cleaning products at my house because I have a dog and a cat, so it's better for them to use that kind of thing rather than a commercial product.
I want to speak up too because we do happen to be recording on Earth Day on April 22nd. And so that's a wonderful way to reaffirm our commitment to helping support, the Earth ecosystem and ourselves. And I have a thought too, Betty, this sparked an idea for me because if there are family groups or friend groups who are coming to Honesdale anyway, they could contact Gudrun and see about, don't know if this would be possible, Gudrun, but setting up a little private class for a group of people who come in.
You have done that before?
Yeah. And that's another way that I know they have these things sometimes when I travel. So
yeah, that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, exactly. This has been absolutely delightful. We are about at time, but I wonder if I read back the email address, website address again, mountpleasantherbary.com, mountpleasantherbary.com. And you mentioned a Facebook page too. Is it also under Mount Pleasant Herbary?
Yes. Facebook and Instagram, Mount Pleasant Herbary.
Very good.
M-T or M-O-U-N-T?
M-O-U-N-T.
Okay, good.
Yeah, very good. And, we just want to thank you. And also, thank you for being such a pillar of the community, to be able to offer up herbal advice, to be able to give high quality, well-made and blessed, Reiki products. And that has an influence that I think is both direct and subtle in the way it can spread. And you're doing such a wonderful job. I've used your soaps and a couple of salves that I bought the last time I was there, which was a while ago. But really, I admire what you're doing. And I think it's such a service, really.
My pleasure, truly. This is my passion.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything else.
Excellent.
Oh, well, my dear, so well.
Thanks.
Betty, would you like to just give a little explanation on minervaed.com and then we'll sign off?
Well, I'm going to put Gudrun's information on Minerva Ed also.
Good.
All right, you'll be able to access it there. And then you can access some of the classes that we're going to be doing. Our next class is actually talking about herbs. That's the one in May. Now, I realize that you may be watching this like months afterwards because people do. But we will have that. And if you just check our calendar, you may find something that you really want to attend. So, and you can sign up for our newsletter, of course. We have a newsletter for minervaed.com. There's a place for you to sign up. And also on 2 Crones and a microphone. We have a beautiful newsletter that Sally does. Sally's away for this podcast.
Yes.
So you just have the two of us today. And trying to think of what else. We do have a Facebook page.
Our YouTube channel. Yes.
Oh, yeah, our YouTube channel. That's a lot of fun.
It's great. For those of you who really enjoy seeing as well as hearing, it's a wonderful option. You get to see us interact with each other and also give out our sage advice, or at least we like to think so. So, well, it's our podcast is always dedicated to sharing techniques and I'm borrowing from you, Betty, to aid you in navigating the muddy waters of our time and giving you ways to be kind to yourself and to others. So remember,
I will say, we'll see you next time.
Sounds great. Be sure to go out and find your glimmer.
Thank you, Gudrun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, if you're enjoying Two Crones and a Microphone, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. Enjoy timeless wisdom from modern times, all served up by women in the know.